Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Let's get your creativity flowing. This show has got all the juice on all your art news. None of that riff-raff, just real authentic art from the coolest young creatives. You are now tuned into Carve Radio. Carve Radio with Slap and My Fadi.
Well, hello.
What's up?
Yeah, we're back on your airwaves. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. But I'm back, and Lissa is also here in studio with us. And he's already spicy. Like, Lissa, why are you so spicy? He's busy telling producers what to do, telling them what he needs, some pampering. What's happening?
I'm the man here, and she must do the things.
Because last time we were here, it was still Women's Month, and you were not having it. You was just like on some no.
That's why I didn't come the other week. I was tired. I was like,
Actually, come on. This guy had a plan. What's been happening? How's your weekend been?
Oh man, I had a great weekend. Final drum session on Saturday. Beautiful. I had summer award winners.
You're not saying anything. Like,
You're
you're literally not saying anything. You're just saying final drum session. We don't know what drum session for what.
Calm down, please calm down.
Yeah,
so it was a final drum recording session for the album.
Mm-hmm.
So I had
your album.
Yeah, the band's album.
Okay.
So I had a summer award-winning producer in studio with me. Please respect me, man. Vic of Music.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Vic of Music.
Yeah, but
homeboy.
We must recognize.
Yeah, we must recognize that my homie is a summer award winner, not nominee.
No.
Yeah, winner.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, we recognize, comrade, we recognize. And how was it?
It was dope. Like, as in, everything was so beautiful, man. Like, like it seems like everything is aligning and you have the right people, like in whether it's work and it's private and personal. Like, it's just like the right type of energy. You know what I mean? So we did that, and then yeah, I had a good weekend. How was your weekend?
I had a good weekend. I was out at the Hip Hop Her Story concert.
Obvious.
What do you mean obvious?
It's like women stuff. Like, yo, just hey.
What do you mean? It was a good thing that Council Light decided to create a platform to celebrate women in hip hop. Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, sure.
But?
No, but sure, it's a good thing.
Yeah, so Young M.A. was out here.
Chilling in the Forzo outsy.
Yes, I mean, Not in the Car was on the lineup. Gigi Lemaine was on the lineup. Fifi Cooper was on the lineup. Boy T made an appearance. What do you think of Boy T's new song?
I haven't heard it.
How?
I heard it, but I haven't heard it. Like, as in, I haven't heard it. Like, I think I heard it on Twitter. Like, it was in the timeline, and it was like somebody had like a 30-second clip, and I heard it. Like, yeah.
Apparently, she sounds like Cardi B. Or she's the next.
Yeah,
Cardi
I heard someone on radio say that. Like, you can copy someone, but don't be them.
Speaking of Cardi B, I mean, nobody wants to be Cardi B this weekend because
this is
of
not
that
a gossip show.
that gunga she has. Yeah, but we're talking about stuff that was trending over the weekend. How can we avoid that? She had a whole gunga.
I like her. She's stuck. I like her.
Yeah, but she got a gunga.
Yeah,
that means she lost.
No, it doesn't mean that you lost.
Nicki Minaj was out there posing, literally just on some flashing for the cameras after that whole war.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, now she walked out of there holding her shoes.
Okay.
And she had a gunga. What does that mean?
Okay, what it means is, Nicki Minaj on all the plastic everywhere. So yeah, now okono bounce back. Like, have a meta. Yeah, nah, gungare, because there's plastic tits, there's plastic booty, there's plastic what. So Cardi B and the real McCoy. That's why she is a gunga. She's a human being.
Okay.
I like her though.
Okay, so
like
the only reason gunga thing must I mean, Nicki Minaj could get a gunga on her face. What does that mean? Are you trying to say Nicki Minaj has a plastic face?
Yeah, the nose.
Wow.
Can we stop the gossip?
Wow.
And you went to the art fair as well.
Yes, the F&B art fair.
No ticket, no hey buddy, hey bestie, hey scheme. Hey boo. Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
And I saw how you're taking those videos. So I don't know say you are so no.
I was shooting. No, I was shooting. I mean, we had a media tour, and then after the tour, we did a couple of interviews, and then I was out of there.
If you say so.
Wow, listen, does the outfit look like a place to go with someone? Like,
Yeah, bro. Like you like La Judana, baby. Look at the art and whatnot, and we buy some paintings and stuff.
okay. I don't know. I think let's just play a song to try to avoid Liseho's craziness right now. And then we'll be back to talk a whole lot about comedy. We have a recipient from the Savannah's Comic Choice Awards. He's the newcomer of the year. And he's going to be with us in studio in a couple of minutes. So let's follow and interact with us on @Carve_radio on all social media platforms. And we'll be back right after this.
And we also have the ancestors or
The ancestors give a man.
Ai,
Okay, lead the ancestor. Lelena, he rang the things.
so the ancestor.
You're my woman, and I'm your man. Everybody ought to know and understand. You're my lady, and I'm your baby. I am done with us pretending that we friends. I see you're there, hoping that I don't care, thinking that I won't stare, but clearly not, 'cause you clearly hot. So yeah, I stared, knowing that you're so rare, hoping that I won't dare mess it up. Then you came around, you told me you were down. You said without a sound, your heart had made that pound. And then we start to pound, we broke it down. And when you made that sound, I knew what you were now. You're my woman, and I'm your man. Everybody ought to know and understand. You're my lady, and I'm your baby. I am done with us pretending that we friends. You're my ridiculous, ridiculous. Hey.
Yo, D, like that invoice coming. Hey, hey, Uptown Bullam Lake, Kentucky, my one and only. To think you started out as the homie, but now we good. We hanging out in the hood, we banging out with the locals and hanging out as we should. Bona, my sweet sugar, I wait every time. Heck, wanna joke a cheeky neha. I swear to God, ain't nobody that can treat you better, 'cause you're my.
You're my woman, and I'm your man. Everybody ought to know and understand. You're my lady, and I'm your baby. I am done with us pretending that we friends. If you feel alone, know that you got a home. Yeah, you're mine. You're mine. No, I ain't
Whether you're an athlete or just going about your day-to-day business, use Turbo Freeze on the go for any pain relief or inflammation. It's the #1 pain relief formula. To find out more, log on to our website www.turbofreeze.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastdownmedia.co.za.
Hey Bonang, how are you?
Hi Tuli, look so beautiful. Hey, long time no see. What happened to your skin, by the way? The last time I saw you, you had a lot of blemishes and breakouts. It was so terrible, man.
Wow, thanks for that, Bonang. Luckily, I discovered DMK. Have you heard of DMK?
DMK? Who are they?
DMK is a paramedical skincare brand that specializes in all skin conditions. Would you like their number?
Yes, please.
I know you're not good at numbers, so let me give you their website address because your skin looks terrible. It's www.dmkskincare.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
You are now listening to Carve Radio with Lepe My Fadi and me.
That's Anita. That white woman is Anita.
No, I definitely doubt it. You are too
Our
spicy.
producer's doing every voiceover in this bit.
Well, one thing that I've been telling you about is that literally after the break, just like we did, we played a song.
Yes, we played a track by D-Light called Your Mind featuring Enviso.
Yeah. And guess what? This weekend, it was a really big weekend for comedy. And today, we have the best newcomer of the year in studio with us, of course, to tell us about everything. Hey, Titi, how you doing?
I'm good. Hello. Just fixing the mic. Yeah, this is a different mic. I'm used to like holding it in my hand. And stuff,
No, here it's upper level.
Yeah, no, I
Levels
can see that.
and
It's
channel
very,
levels.
it's very
You have
fancy.
chairs,
Yeah, man. So I don't even think of processed everything that's been happening over the past couple of weeks. You know, I mean, it was Comics Choice, and then the next day, the Trevor Noah Nationwide gets announced, and you know, it's like so many people, like, you know, on my phone and congratulating me and stuff like that. So like it's really overwhelming and humbling at the same time. So like I try and take all the time in the world to like reply to every single message individually with like a different text for everyone. I don't have like a template.
Yeah, you don't want to get like all celebrity on them by just copy pasting everything.
But so like for me, that's how I. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's how I process this whole thing. Is just like try and stay as myself as possible, you know.
Because you best believe, bro.
He had to take it there.
These girls like, this comedy thing, you don't make enough money, you live in a back room now.
Well,
Look at
man.
you now.
Oh man, I it's actually funny. Like I broke up with someone just after Nationwide.
Yeah.
And that was like a very traumatic time, you know, like with the whole experience and stuff like that. So like I haven't quite like found like that
Get out now.
interesting.
Banyagadi love bagging now because
No
now,
man,
money is there now.
I don't know. They're all like they're still my friends.
Because we're international now.
Because
we're award winners. Like right now on off air, like this guy Funya they're trying to book him for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So
I know it's crazy. Like I'm excited and I appreciate the love that I get even from female compatriots.
Hey now.
I really appreciate it.
you must stand on them.
But let's rewind a bit, okay?
Yeah.
So you're from Leboakhomo.
Leboakhomo, yes.
How did you just decide, actually, comedy is my thing?
Well, it wasn't actually. I think comedy was a thing that I actually always wanted to do. And then I went to university. I went to Wits and I studied game design, right?
Game design.
Yeah, video game design. So
Okay.
I'm making video games. And then in my last year, I just joked around in class a lot. So I used to tell jokes to my
Wow.
other friends. So,
Okay.
so while we're working, I'd be like, I'll try one. And then sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. And every time I'd try one, like I'd write it down as well. Like, okay, this one works. Then, after that, I moved to Cape Town to work for about a year and a couple. And then in Cape Town, I just kind of like started like punching comedy and like going to every single club that I could. And then I came back after that, and I just focused solidly on comedy. I still do game design a little bit, but I'm mostly focused on comedy now. So that's beautiful,
So do you think the best place to launch your comedy career would be in Cape Town because people there are more easygoing than
Why would
maybe
you say
people
that?
in Joburg? I don't know.
I think I've had good experiences in Cape Town, and
Okay.
I've had good experiences in Joburg. But it's also different because I think in Cape Town, right, you have like more of a platform of how the world kind of functions. Like, because Cape Town is very different to South Africa. In South Africa, I mean, like the center of South Africa is Joburg. So it's very different to Joburg. It's very different to Limpopo. So like there, even if you say like Vaslap, no one understands
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you just said.
No, what is a Vaslap?
You know your Vaslap. You've got
We
a very
feel affair.
I know. Yeah. You've got a very good relationship
Yeah,
with her.
that's my homie right there.
Going for like your fifth anniversary.
But I mean, dog, I know where you're from.
Yeah.
I have family that side.
Is it?
I mean,
That's
but not
nice.
like not close. Like, but then wait, okay.
Yeah.
Go over Magroblas Dale, Uiti Tafelkopo,
Yeah.
Glen
Yes,
Cow,
yes,
those
yes,
places.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know where you're from, and I'm like, have you been home since any of these things?
Yes.
And how is the response? And because I know you like your town is like a 500-meter town.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very.
yeah,
It's
like
very
welcome,
tiny, but
and
it's very
young.
fat. Like so, like in distance it's small, but in width it's like it's like big.
That's what they all say.
That's
It's
how
not
I
long, but
experience
it's
it.
wide.
I know there's literally 3 zones in my town,
Yeah.
and then it's finished. Like
Wow.
it's like zone A, okay, and they don't make sense. It's actually no, there's about 5. It's zone A, zone B, zone F, zone
Yeah, man.
S.
No, but it's
Yeah,
every township. Mogedi CC and then Molegedi W.
But how does that work? Isn't it supposed to be zone A, B, C,
the
D?
people who are naming Nebanal dyslexia, brag.
Oh, okay.
Apartheid.
Just choosing the alphabet.
Spin the alphabet.
Wow.
No, yeah. So yeah, it's very small. I mean, I go back every now and again to see my grandmother who still lives there. Unfortunately, she's like, actually no, we have like more family there. It's just like she's the closest of like, cause she raised me. That's why I lived in Lebachum, because my mom, she was very young when she had me, so she had to go to school. So
Wow.
so my grandfather and grandmother raised. I actually didn't even know that my mom was my mom until like very late.
Okay,
in
so
my-
Novita Gugwa how mom.
I still do.
Okay.
Ma, and I'd call my mom Mama. I used to call her Ceci.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because everyone calls her Ceci, so I thought like she's my sister. And then they had to like sit me down and give me a
Explain
brief or whatever.
for you.
Yeah. So that's cool.
But I mean, I'm sure they mad proud of you and
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's all out. You have to do that. You have to, especially for my grandmother.
Yeah.
I still do that, and for a couple of family members that are home, you have to do it. Like it's like as I think as a black person or any person that has family that comes from the kind of backgrounds that we come from, is that it's not even black tax. People call it black tax.
I don't like that word. It makes no sense.
People in the world still
Like, how
do
do you
black
want to
tax.
flourish while you have poor people?
Yeah.
No
So
sense.
I mean, it doesn't make sense for
Yeah,
me to be like,
it makes no
like in the club enjoying myself.
No,
and
but you will be in the
my
club
granny-
enjoying yourself.
Well,
You
yeah,
must stand on these girls.
for recreational and
Yes,
business
you must
purposes.
stand on these
Let's
girls.
talk about that call you got like on
Yeah.
some Trevor Noah. You were
Oh,
like
yeah.
like no like what state were you in when you understood that actually
And what does it
this
mean?
guy-
Explain to the listeners what the nation.
Oh, Nation Wild. So Nation Wild is a show that Trevor Noah is putting together. It's coming out later this year. It's actually coming out in this month. So what happened is that Trevor Noah handpicked 13 up-and-coming comedians to come and perform with him on a sold-out night in South Africa.
Oh.
So that's going to be a 13-part series on Mnet,
Okay.
and it's airing on Showmax and on the 24th of September.
And you're part of that lineup.
So I'm part of that lineup. So when I received the call, funny enough, I wasn't in the country. and I was in America, and I just received news that we just won a SAFTA. So like we were really excited, and I was on my way back. So I was in, I think, where was I? I was in Ethiopia, flying back to South Africa, and I was coming from the States, Ethiopia, coming back, and then I get the call, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, this is so crazy, because we had like rumors just like weeks before that this thing might be happening, and then we got like cast for, we got chosen on a short list of 30 people, and then after that they chose 13 from the 30.
Yeah, because I was about to ask, I'm like, how, if you didn't know, but then everybody went, but then they're not gonna show everyone.
Well, everyone has their own episode, so it's a 13 parts. So every episode, Trevor comes on, does a little bit of a warm-up, and then you come on. So basically, the episode is about you. So he's introducing you to his crowd in terms of the nation, Nation Wild, and yeah, I did really well on the night. So I cried on stage. I'm a very emotional person.
Do you know when your episode specifically is airing, so we can?
So it's airing on the 24th as well. So on Showmax. So on Showmax, every episode is airing at the same time. So just go in there and click mine and just let it get the most views. It was nice. I got a standing ovation, so that was.
But then, so explain to me what all of this means for your booking fee, my homie. Like,
for my booking fee,
how do you like percentage wise? Obviously, you won't talk numbers because you must stunt on these girls.
Yeah,
so they must not know how much you have. But how drastic is the change in terms of like, if nearly 100 randa, how much is it now?
Probably like if it was 100 rand, probably like 500%. Actually, no. Actually, more than that. Maybe like 1,000% increase.
After a moment, there's a place here, and right here, it's called. Can I ask the place we went to? 6 hours. Yeah, let's go to 6 hours there, Braga. There's a buy one get one free.
It's so fun. I actually have a gig straight after this, so I have to go. That's what I tell the girls. I have a gig straight after this, so I can't pay for this drink.
So what kind of comedy do you do? Like, I mean, I'd like to think that there are specific genres of comedy. Can you break it down for us and tell us specifically what kind of comedy you do?
It's really interesting. I think it's very like awkwardly relatable stories. So like back in the day, people used to talk about like race a lot. Some people still do, and it's not a time thing. It's just like South Africans found that funny first, and then after that it was like very political, and that's where Trevor and them kind of broke off, and then it became a bit racial. But now it's more topical and very like experiential. So for me, it's about like human reactions, like what people do on a daily basis. Like I spoke, like at the comic stores, I spoke about rebound relationships because I was in a rebound relationship. But I was the rebound. I was the rebound. The other person was using me, like so.
Yeah, but you just also got out of a relationship, so can't you say?
No, but you're not only honest. It
was in April that we broke up. It's just it took me a long time to to get over it.
Rebound. Almost a lady picture.
The rebound is done because I mean, I was the rebound,
like
okay,
because a rebound relationship, right? It's like someone using your pavement to do like a U-turn. That's how it works, man. Like they're not coming to you, but your feelings are like, hey, what's going on?
So was it clear though, or you in this is a rebound relationship?
No, I wasn't. No, I thought like
you're trying to laugh.
I thought this was the thing,
Ish.
Yeah, but then it didn't work in my favor. I don't know. Like I'm so honest. Like
human beings are horrible people, dog.
Yeah, I'm sure calling got things she wishes her give us some rebound because look now.
No, I think it happened.
Every time we are Ethiopia happy, we send the ticket, the Braga, send pictures. Look at me now. Look how we live.
No, I can't do that. I think,
I always wondered about comedians. Like, how do you put the jokes together? I mean, do you actually sit down and write this thing down and then figure out and break it down like a musician would do? Because like musicians, you write something and then okay, this is cool, but now let me make it different because Sophie has said this before. So how do you do it? Do you actually write something down? Do you actually like?
Well, not really. Well, I use Facebook a lot, like, and I think it predates like the times that I was doing comedy. You just use Facebook to say like something that you really think. So the jokes that I write down, like coming back to your question, it's like it's very short like jokes, very short like stories like that you tell in terms of but I capitalize on like human experiences, like just like you know, like I have a joke about a Vaslap or something, using a Vaslap, but like. And what I do is that I do these things where I post like a lot of Facebook, like I post like jokes, but you know, on Facebook it has that word limit where it's big,
Yeah.
and then after a while it gets like smaller,
Small.
and I think it's about like 50 characters. When it's 50 characters, it's big. So my challenge is that if I cannot make anything funny in like those big
50
characters,
Wow.
then it's not funny. So what I do is that
Yes,
I
Owen.
post that, and like sometimes it gets like a bit of a reaction, and sometimes I like it. But for comedy, you have to be in the clubs. So you have to be in the clubs performing all the time. So that's what I do every single night. I'm there.
So the bombing is a real thing.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to anyone.
Because like on stage, you mess up one
Like,
time. Like as a musician, it's like,
sir.
hey, I cocked up the line over there. I'm good now. But when every time you're working on new material, you have to go and bomb.
Yes.
For real.
Well, you don't have to go bomb. Like there are other ways to like avoid bombing. Because the thing is, like, think about it. Like as comedy, you have to think about what people think about all the time. So you have to be the most empathetic person in the world. So you have to kind of be understanding towards. Because I was even telling a friend of mine, like game design, like coming from a game design background and comedy, it's very similar because everything that you make, everything that you say, is not used by you. So
Yeah,
like
you do it for
I can
somebody
find
else.
something super funny, but I have to be able to present it to other people in a way that they would understand. Because if you come to me and I tell you what's funny, you don't know like the connections that I'm making in my head. So I need to make it very generalized for a group of people that don't even know each other to laugh together. And that's
And then how, like right now you said, if you find something, like let's say you find something extremely funny, right?
Yeah.
And it's your joke, and then you do it and it bombs. How do you let go? Do you or do you rework the joke? Like let's say maybe
it's over.
It's a real let's say it's like a personal
It's gotta
thing.
be over.
It's like, hey man, this is a story. It's real and it's funny. I really think this is funny. And then like you come to us like, oh yeah man, that shit is funny. But then you go to a club and then
it's not funny.
and then you go to another place like dololo.
Let me tell you, the feeling of dying will make you lose a joke. Will make you like
you forget it.
Forget about a joke like completely. Honestly, like, but the thing is, sometimes the joke, it's not the time for the joke. You know, sometimes the joke is gonna, you know, you just need to put it away. The idea, you put it away for like a couple of months, and then you revisit it, and then maybe you're in a better place. Because like I was even telling a friend of mine, I couldn't write jokes about being in a breakup while I was in the breakup. While I was like, you know, while I was not over the thing. But once I got over it, then I started like being able to.
This
like,
relationship was deep, hey?
It was, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't want to like talk about my relationship problems, but it was.
Yeah, can we
was
segue? Who are your influences? Like
Who inspires you?
in comedy?
Man, it's so funny because everyone always like I get the question about like your favorite comedian and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily have a favorite comedian. I have favorite moments in different people's lives, and the reason I choose to do that is because you can always take from like someone's best moments. Because then if you say someone's your favorite, like let's say I say X is my favorite comedian, and X stops doing well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But because I've dubbed him as my favorite comedian, I always have to go through his processes, whether he's going up or down, you know. So I choose to take only the moments that I really love from every single artist. So everyone essentially is my inspiration. But I really love 50 Cent as another kind of you know, as another form of like inspiration. I listen to like 50 Cent a lot.
The beat, the central.
So you're a SAFTA winner.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that. How did you get to bag a South African Film and Television Award?
Yeah, man, this year has been crazy, man. Like,
you keep bagging him.
It's a Comics Choice, Trevor, man.
And now you're fully booked for October.
I know, right? I must just get married now.
Woo! Hey now.
Going backwards.
Ladies, send down the application. This guy is ready for love.
Right.
I feel like I sound desperate in this.
No.
But go use but because you were
It's okay to be ready for love.
last year no man, last year you were in shit. Now this year get the awards. Now you are in. Prakatsa mo molata ko mining ko lo bo go. Yes.
I know get like
I deserve joy.
Yeah.
Sing dilo tsa mo Joburg.
No, don't
Wow.
say that.
You know?
Yeah, you
I
gonna scare them away.
I don't
I don't
know.
wanna scare them away.
You know? This is getting too deep. Let's talk about the SAFTA
Yeah, the
award.
SAFTA, and also that one I was in the States when I received. Okay, this was very
Wow.
controversial, right? So I was in America doing like a bit of shows and like more game design stuff. And what happened was that I was in a bus, right? And I wanted to check my phone. And then when I check my phone, like my Twitter, like I'm not like a big Twitter person, but now I'm starting to tweet a little bit more. So follow me.
I already do.
So what happened? So what happened
I
is
see what's going on.
that like then I saw like I have a lot of like the messages, notifications. So I'm like, yo, what's going on there? So I go in there and I see, yo, congratulations. The SAFTA page was like saying all the stuff. And then I get like a lot of negative other stuff. Well, I didn't really focus on that. I wasn't too happy. So I started dancing in the bus. And what it's for is that I was writing for the show called Zar News that's based in Cape Town.
Okay.
And what we did is that we made like sketch shows and stuff like that. So I was part of a writing team. So yeah, so the whole team won the SAFTA. And then I didn't think that they would engrave my name on it. So they engraved like
Wow.
Shumir
Hey now.
on a SAFTA. And I had a bet with a friend of mine the year before that I was gonna win a SAFTA.
And you did.
I did, but he didn't pay me.
I said.
What we agreed on. But it's fine. Like I still love
So
it.
you also have a 2-man show. I mean,
Yeah.
What projects are you working on, and
Oh,
how are you
yes.
helping other people in the comedy industry, or how are you plugging other people? Are
I'm
you
2 years in, man. Like
No,
already
man,
you're
there's no-
begging
there's
too
no-
much.
there's no
You
2
need a
years,
plan.
You need to give back now, though.
Okay. So I will. Yeah. No. Actually, it's actually really interesting because like 2 years ago, I'm sure to the day I was like asking for people to do certain things for me. I still do ask for people. You know, like you always have to remain like grateful and and stuff to the people that gave it to you. But it's so weird now. Like a lot of like the younger guys like are coming to guys like myself, asking for spots. So whenever I have shows, we always make sure that we put like some people that are from the city on. So like while we were touring, how we got these suits with Emilio, we'd always get like some guys from Cape Town or Joburg. We got El Ocean and Masibonge while we were here, and then we got Kobus van Rensburg and Chris Hooley while we were in Cape Town. And then we're having a show on the 27th of October called the Shapa Boom Boom Show, which is weird. It's a cool name. It feels so cool saying that name.
Shapa Boom Boom.
Yeah, sure. Don't ask us. Just tell us that it's a cool name. Sure, yeah.
But it is though. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's happening on the 27th of
Where?
October at the Joburg Theatre at the Space Dot thing, and the tickets are on Pick and Pay and web tickets. You
How
can get
much
them
is
at
it?
any
How
gig.
much
It's
is
100
the
rand. It's 100 rand
100
tickets. So,
flat.
yeah, and it's a lineup show, so it's not just like myself. So it's kind of a celebration. We're getting like comedians from all over the country, and like as many like comedians as well. So like the new act on that one is Stella Tlangalala, right? She's like a performer. She's very funny, and you'll probably get like some other new person, but we haven't sorted out. It's Stella. But the lineup is myself, Emilio, Tobias.
You need to give the funny chef.
Who's the funny chef?
I'll meet the funny chef.
No.
Oh God!
Is
You
he-
need to
is
get
he
the
a
funny chef.
comedian?
Why aren't you saying
Is he like
anything?
is he like a video guy?
No,
Is
it's
he
a
like
chick.
Instagram?
She's like a video guy.
She's
no,
like a video.
she's
lady.
a chef and she's super funny. She's from
wait,
Pretoria.
I think I've seen this person. She's colored, right?
No.
Okay. I don't know this person. Then. So we'll get
No,
the,
but yeah, we'll give you the details for the funny chef.
Give me
So
the
that,
funny chef, and we'll see. You know,
yeah,
like,
no, she's super
Yeah.
cool.
No, and like we're not giving you the details for the funny chef. You know
Why?
why? Because she's been delaying to come here, so we're blackballing her. Yes.
You see, listen.
Yeah.
Well, funny
Nah.
chef, if you're listening to this, you can just contact me directly in the DMs.
No,
Yeah,
man,
no.
yeah, man. Kudos to you. Congratulations.
Thank
on
you, man.
everything,
Thank you. Yeah,
We hope you get that more, and we hope you don't forget us.
No, we'll never.
But
forget
is comedy really a lucrative industry? I mean, now is it?
Very.
Would you say it's your first job, or
Yeah,
is it just side gig?
It's been my first job for a year, for about a year. And
So
a
now
couple
gaming is your side gig.
Yeah, game is my side gig. This is weird. Like I'm supposed to go to LA in October, in November, but I can't go. So a friend of mine is going on my behalf. So that's how comedy has kind of taken over.
Oh,
Wow.
For the game thing.
Yeah, so
okay.
because I'll be in Asia doing the tours, so I can't like leave and go and then come back and finish the tour. So that's how like so. And in terms of of money and stuff, to anyone going out like starting, right? It's very tough to like start. Like even myself, I think like I had some lucky breaks. I had a car like while I was starting, you know, and the first car that I got, my parents bought for me, you know, and I was living with my parents, and my parents live in Joburg in a very central area. So for me, it was easier for me to, and I have friends that have cars that went to and some people don't have that, and they don't realize how important that kind of stuff is. You know, I had a church where people from my church would support, you know, and come to the shows, and you know, so in many ways, I could speak English, you know, like there's so many things that like that add to how easy the process is for you that people don't really understand. They don't really like take into consideration when they're coming into this thing, you know. And people feel like struggling is good, you know. You have to struggle. It's part of the work.
So you didn't struggle to get into comedy.
Well, I did struggle. I did work really hard to get to this place, and I'm gonna continue to get to other places. But what I'm saying is that people feel like if you want to do comedy, you have to struggle through comedy. But you can get a job, like, you know. So most people, like, you know, they have the ability to get jobs, but you know they're saying they're struggling because they can't. And if this is not making money, then do something else. While I was starting comedy, I was a full-time game designer. I was doing espresso, you know. And I'm not saying like I made it or anything. It's just like I had like other means of making
it makes sense,
making money, you know.
Of course,
so
man.
And once you get so good that they can't ignore you. That's a motto that Mojak Lohoko told me, and that is one of my favorite like people in the world. And like Robbie Collins, all those people, they tell you that like, yo, bruh, Robbie, Loiso Gola used to be a petrol attendant.
Wow.
You know, and like there's so many stories about these things. You're like, yo, bruh, just work, have money, and have the money to go to shows. You don't have to, like, you know. Some promoters will not even pay you. Imagine like sitting on the night. You just performed. You did so well, and then you wait until everybody leaves to talk to the promoter
to get paid.
You understand? You don't want to need that kind of money, because that's bad money, and it's bad on your soul. So like.
So now you have management. Are you signed on to something, or are you an independent comedian? If there's such.
Independent comedian. Oh my God.
Are there independent comedians out there?
There's a lot of independent comedians. Yeah, but I have like a couple of structures that are set up. You know, I'm with I have like people that like deal with certain things, but I'm still like very hands-on with a lot of things, you know. Like,
so I can take responsibility of the girls.
You know,
of the girls. You can have it, man.
Me, I'm gonna get there. I'll screen them for you.
Yeah.
Your type. Until somewhere we find a bunch of them, like, no, this one is his type.
Go Pretoria.
Anyway, right.
And most of them will be petty, right?
Oh, okay. Is that your type? Are you trying to stick to petty girls?
No, man. Like, no, man. Like,
all I'm saying is, I'll deal with like the whole screening, and I'm like, oh no, this one is the one for him, and then these ones are mine.
I must actually get your number after this. Yeah, you guys should come to the Boom Boom show.
Yeah, no, definitely, we'll definitely pull through.
Come through to the Boom show. Just like, well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we don't have to. The people mustn't hear our business.
But you guys also can come to the Boom Boom show.
Yeah, everybody come to the
Boom Boom show. 27th of October.
Yeah.
Tickets at Pick and Pay, web tickets. It's happening at the Joburg Theatre. It's going to be amazing. So on the lineup is Robbie Collins, right? It's Lihle Simang or Lihle Lindsay, as people know her as well. It was supposed to be Trevor Gumbi, but he's in Australia at the time. It's Emilio Tobias. It's Lupelo Kotwa from Eastern Cape. this guy is amazingly funny. So like I'm trying to like
Yeah, like I get you. I get.
What we're trying to do is
Diversifying.
like we want to introduce our crowd, our crowd to like other kinds of comedy that they, are not used to, like people from my church and.
Do you ever make
Limpopo.
comedy in Vinek?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Like in Cape Town, it works really well. But I did
Really?
I did Skumba's birthday show, and I hadn't decided if I was gonna speak English or I was gonna speak Pedi. Look, I'm very fluent in Pedi, so when I went on stage, I just looked like a coconut, and then it wasn't for those people, so I didn't cater to the crowd, so it was my fault. I made a rookie mistake, but they still loved it a little bit. They caught on to the thing.
Okay.
But they didn't start with me. They were very like.
They warmed up to you.
Yeah, what was going on here? What's going on here?
So you
And then
quickly have, when you get into for a show, you need to suss out the
the
crowd
crowd,
first.
yeah, that's the
before-
most important thing. That's what I'm talking about with empathy. So you have to be as empathetic as possible. Like you have to be, and people think it's humbleness. It's not. It's like you have to be empathetic
So-
to know what people want.
So, like for instance, your set, right?
Yes.
Is it set up before you get there, or is it like you get there, it's like, okay, this is the kind of vibe or the kind of crowd, or how does it work?
It depends. Like if it's an open mic, like where you're testing out material,
Yeah.
then you have to set it up from home.
Okay.
But if you get there, and let's say you have a set about a Vaslab, for instance, it's my favorite joke.
Wait, you tell us
No,
this
no, no, no.
Vaslab joke.
I wanna, no,
You
no.
know what,
They must
like-
come. They must come. They must come to the boom boom show. They must come to the boom boom. Like now, I'm curious about this.
Yeah,
Vaslab
like this
thing.
Vaslab joke, like
I mean, yeah, like, cause like, like you're saying, you have to cater to the crowd. Right?
Yeah.
So that means that maybe you change your set right on the spot.
Yeah, if you get there and there's like
Yeah.
only Canadian people at the show,
Yeah.
you can't do a Vaslab joke. Because,
Yeah,
you
no,
have to
like,
kind of cater to what I'm going to like Asia for like a month. I can't do a Vaslab joke there unless I explain to them what a Vaslab is.
Yeah.
But even in that, it needs to be like
might get lost in translation.
Yes, because the culture around their Vaslabs might not be necessarily our culture around our Vaslabs. Our Vaslabs like very close.
Like it's with you.
Yeah.
So, any advice that you'd like to give to people that want to be
I'm trying
like
to be a comedian.
You know, like this guy never not funny, so
You man naira the game.
I
Jiggy
mean-
jiggy jiggy jiggy. The man ki award winner.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, no, go channel.
Well, it's fine. I wanna be a rapper. That's
Whoa,
I
y'all
don't know,
should
I'm
trade jobs then.
I'm joking, man. I don't know. Like whenever people say I should give advice, I'm always like, okay. Here's my advice. Read this book called "So Good They Can't Ignore You."
Okay.
By
who?
that's let me actually just get it.
So
right.
good they can't ignore.
So good they can't ignore you. I'll say. Well, I can't say I have the fake version on my phone.
Wow.
I have the real version.
Live on air.
So I read it. So I read it off like a bootleg version, and I actually went to go buy it by Carl Newport.
Okay.
And basically,
Carl
what did Carl Newport? And basically, what the book is about is like, there's this thing that where people think that
Follow
if
your passion.
you follow your passion, like if
Yeah.
you follow your passion, then you're gonna do something. But following your passion is just following something that you really like. You need to have this thing called the career career capital, and that means you have to put in so much work into it, or you have to do something that you've already put in work into and learn to love that, rather than going for something that you think you love because you have no experience, no career capital. You're just going into it blind. And what happens is that sometimes you meet things that you didn't know were going to happen. So like, and then you start losing passion. Sorry.
Yep,
You
but
start
I
losing
mean,
passion.
isn't that like the risk of life, man? Because I feel I get what you mean, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of disagree with how many people. For instance, you,
Yeah.
right?
It worked for
went
him.
to school and you were doing game design,
Yes.
right? And you doing a degree. It was a degree. I think I read it on the article.
I have an honest.
You see,
Hey
the
now.
homie's got an honest. Like this is what you thought and this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then you figured like, and then you felt or you. Whatever, Matimoni, the spirit
Matimoni.
and you're like, I'm gonna be a comic, you know what
Yes.
I mean? And you followed something that you enjoy,
Yeah.
which can loosely translate into being a passion.
A passion.
You know,
Well,
but like some people know from the get go, you know, and then even though it's difficult, but then it's like,
Yeah.
I'm chasing this thing whether it takes me 5, 10, 15 years. The trick is to condition yourself to know that it won't be easy.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, because
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, like getting philosophical.
No, I mean the
I
issue
know.
comes. No,
This was
I have this conversation all the time.
about me.
Like, hello, I mean, focus.
Okay, cool. Me and the homie will talk.
No,
Me and the homie will
no.
talk.
I agree with that. It's just like it gets really complicated, and I think in the book it explains a lot. It gets really complicated when you think something is your passion, but you don't have the career capital or the oomph to actually try and do all that stuff. Imagine you have no energy to run a 100-meter race, but your passion is to run 100.
That's being deluded. Yeah, no, that's being delusional.
So now you can't do that. So the book is very like truthful about like what you need to do some. So not everything is your passion, unfortunately. You understand? And I think the best advice is in that book. But if anyone wants to start comedy, come to the open mic nights that we have. I mean, we have one tonight happening at Malvo, just right around the corner. Poppies.
Okay.
It's a free one. That's free on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays we have Kitcheners in Braamfontein. That's 30 rand, and you see like the best comedians in the world, in the country, in the world. Because I think South African comedy is like one of the best comedy scenes in the world.
Literally one of my favorite comedians, like not in South Africa, in general, is Eugene Koza.
Yeah, bro. I saw him the other day. It's just
dude is mad.
Yeah.
Dude is mad.
Yeah, man.
Eugene.
Dude, like I love dude.
I love that Eugene ad. Yeah,
I took a joke he made, and it's part of my life. I wrote it. Like
wow.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like.
Isn't that a thing when someone like
like I do that all the
steals
time. It's not even
like,
stealing it. It's like I believe
your
that
your
this
jokes?
is my idea.
Don't you get that?
A comedian.
Yeah.
No, but
If
I'm not
another
but I'm not a
comedian-
comic though.
No, he's
Yeah,
not a
no,
comedian.
not
No,
when.
so
But I'm
that's
talking
fine.
about a comedian.
That happens, you know, and it's not cool, you know. It's like anywhere stealing.
Do you
anywhere
call
is
each other out when you do that?
Yeah. You do like. The difference between like overlapping ideas and like someone stealing your joke. There have been cases of people stealing other people's jokes. I don't get like involved when people unless like, you know, it's like blatant and I have to be like one of the witnesses and I'll be like, okay, man.
But if it's your joke,
if it's my, well, I've had one instance where like we had a quarrel about one joke. But I just stopped doing the joke.
Okay, so, and what do you say? What do you say? So, for instance,
no, I mean, no, you just stopped doing the joke. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man, like it was also like
it's alright.
the joke was old, you know, and I was just like, you know, like
just take it.
Just take the joke. I don't wanna be
seeing that you are part
the
of
better man.
You are part of
Be the better man now.
You're part of Trevor Noah's crew. Speaking of stealing jokes, how do you feel? Do you believe or do you not even believe? Do you agree or do you disagree that Russell Peters called Trevor Noah out and said Trevor Noah stole his material?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I don't
Plead
know.
the fifth.
I don't know, and I don't want to comment. I love Trevor. Trevor's my guy.
You know,
I'm just gonna say that because here's the thing: like Russell Peters sounds like a very bitter guy, right? So for me, here's the thing: I would never speak against anyone, right? It's just like how it looks for the public, because Russell Peters says, "Yo, I've stolen a joke." You know, and he says I've stolen these lines, and then the person that apparently allegedly he stole from admittedly says no, you didn't just steal that, you know. And a joke, bro, remember that a joke is our money. Like if someone steals your joke, they steal your money. Like they steal it out of your pocket. And Russell Peters became one of the biggest comedians in the world. And
so you feel like he was too big.
The other lady that he stole the joke from, I didn't even know until he admitted. So you see that like he didn't steal just her money, he stole like her career and stuff like that. And for him to admittedly say, oh man, I just stole this joke, when he has a case of that,
of accusing somebody else,
when he's accusing someone else because someone else also made it bigger or whatever. So that for me is just like, you know, it's a bad situation to be in, and I don't want to comment on it because I want to be there with them.
Yeah, talking about being there, you know that I mean everybody starts on a lower level to get to a certain level. What's your 5-year plan? Do you also see yourself doing like reality shows of comedy, or like what's the plan? Where do you want to take it?
This homie doesn't deal with 5-year plans. This like 1 year.
Yeah,
Next
man.
year, 1 year. This homie's
So 5 years is cool.
So
5 years is far.
It's been so weird. Like the trajectory has been very fast, and I feel like I feel like with that you have to kind of maintain the speed, so you have to
Pace yourself.
you have to pace yourself, and you have to be
But-
very like in the business. So when things are happening, you have to be there in present, and you have to be very like
And grab while it's there.
and you have to kind of like also prepare for the future, because like if I do a one-man show now, like every single, like when I was writing jokes, they were getting recorded like in 2 months intervals. Like you write a joke, in 2 months time there's this thing where you have to record. So in the next 2 months, if you're recording something else, you have to write more jokes, you have to write more jokes. So these are the times where I'm empty, you know. There are times where you just empty, you don't have jokes and stuff like. So like my plans is just like to stay writing that, and that's one of my passions, is like writing jokes. Like that's the thing that I love most. I don't even go out much.
Is that a thing? Like, can
I
you
chill at
sell,
home.
like how you would sell lyrics?
To
Like
jokes.
songwriters, you can sell jokes.
Yeah, certain people do it, you know, but I believe in like everything that I do is 100% in my world. And what I mean by that is like, if a friend of mine tells me a joke, for instance, like because it's in my world, I'll take the joke. There are jokes that I've taken from like friends.
Oh, don't bite there, Lana. You take a joke from me, definitely I'm getting a cut.
And I always credit them in my thing, you know.
Okay.
Like, or like I get an idea, not the whole joke. Like, so they'll my friend, like someone would say something, and then I'll just be like, oh, that's funny. Like, can I turn that into a joke? It's happened like twice so far. It's happened twice.
Hey man, people are suing people for using people's words. Up.
But we still don't know. Like, I still want to know your 5-year
I made a video
plan.
on that.
Hey, I'm gonna check out. Like once we're done, I'm gonna take. We'll control change, so I can check your stuff out, because I'm like, I wanna hear this Vaslab joke. I really wanna hear it bad, and I don't wanna hear it like this. I wanna hear it.
Are you gonna do giveaways? Can we
What's
give away
giveaways?
tickets to the people that are listening?
Oh yeah. Let's.
How many
do it.
tickets are you gonna
I
give
think it's
away?
gonna sell out. The show is gonna sell out. So, I don't know how many.
Two
we
double
know.
tickets. 2 double tickets.
2 double tickets. Yeah, let's do that. 2 double tickets. What you have to do is what?
We'll figure it out for next.
Follow me on Twitter, because I'm
Yes.
big now on
Get
Twitter.
the numbers in now.
Follow me on Twitter
And we'll figure it out.
And,
Oh, yeah,
and post a
retweet.
question.
Yeah, and post a question and retweet some of the pictures, you know, some of the Boom Boom Show pictures, and hashtag Shapa. That's SHAPA.
Wow.
Okay.
It's been absolutely having you
We'll
around.
figure out
Yeah.
how
It's
we
so
give
dope.
them the tickets, because
Yeah, I'm excited.
we try to
This
do
is
that
exciting.
whenever somebody comes in who's doing something. We try to
Yeah,
give
2
us-
double
Yeah.
tickets, right?
Yeah,
So
2
yeah,
double
then I'll just
On the
message.
guest
Yeah.
list.
Put them
Titi,
on
what's
the
your
guest
full
list.
name?
Lentitiri.
Lintitiri.
Yeah, but it's not on my ID. Titi's my full name, actually.
That sounds like a lie.
That
sounds
Like,
made
where's
up.
he going
That
with
sounds
this? I'm
made up.
like, okay.
Here's my
Whatever.
license.
Wait.
It says TN. It's TN.
So Lintitiri is not there.
It's like,
Lentitiri is-
my name is Sipo, but you can call me
Like,
Steve.
huh?
Oh man,
I'm like,
it's a funny story. My grandfather gave me that name, and then everyone in the family was like, "Alright, cool," because my grandfather was like a dictator. So
As
if
he should.
Yeah, no, if he
Yeah,
says
as he
something, no one was gonna disagree. But then they were like, "Hey man," then my auntie was like, "Yo, this name is too long. Imagine like we have to call you from the street. Like we can't be like it's gonna be strenuous." So they shortened it. So they tried to make Linty. Then Linty sounded like a little bit girly, and then they call me Titi. And then they changed everything that I had into Titi. But then the weirdest thing is that Titi is actually a Shona name, and it's predominantly used by females, and it means it's like humility and understanding. So whenever I get
So you dodged the bullet, but the grab bullet.
I got another one. 'Cause now when I'm in an Uber, man, like when I request the Uber and the Uber driver calls and like he's a Zimbabwean for so,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a Shona, and then he hears a man, then he's like, "Where's Titi?"
I'm Titi Fool.
me now.
It's me. Hey, man.
yeah.
I think that should be our question. What's Titi's full name?
Okay, cool. Well, I don't.
We don't know how they're gonna
2
spell
double
it.
tickets.
Yeah, 2 double
to the
tickets.
Chapo Boom Boom show on the
Yes.
27th of
And
October.
we hope to see you there, people.
Wow.
We're
Yeah.
definitely going.
It's been such a fun time. We didn't even take a break. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean-
no, it was,
I mean,
interesting.
dude, I gotta know, dude is like, he's like oozing, like
Ewana.
look at me, I'm
Award-winning.
I'm successful.
we're soaking in the award-winning
Yeah,
things.
man, you guys make me feel too good.
You know,
Hey,
and
man,
that
do
was
not look, jokes aside, man. You like do well, and
Thank you so
and we
much.
will support you, man.
Thank
like,
you
so much.
Like,
Yeah.
Thank
jokes
you so
aside,
much.
man.
I'm
Like,
really-
as in, Like, one, we had things, dog. We had things.
we had a whole lot of things to go through.
I had a rant.
A whole script, a whole great art
I
news.
rent every
all
show.
the time.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
well,
fine.
that was
That's fine.
Savannah,
To each his
newcomer
own.
of the year, winner, recipient, TT. How do I pronounce her surname?
Chumia, it's a silent I.
Chumia.
It's actually a Zambian surname.
Yeah,
my,
nigga,
my,
nigga,
my,
Booties.
my dad is from Zambia.
So do you know Badashana?
No.
Do you know a bit of
Alright.
licking lips?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Girl, come down.
Listen,
please.
it's too spicy. Like, I can't.
I'm actually going to Zambia for the first time. So I've never met my Zambian family, and like.
Yo, no, you got money, you go.
Well, yeah, I'm going for a
Somebody,
show.
you must
I'm
come with a
going
bit of
I'm
Shana
going for a
joke.
show and
With
then
the
I'll
orange,
meet them.
like, give.
With this guy called Shingles.
Shingles.
You're going for a show there?
Yes, and on the 30th of November, I'll be in Zambia. It's gonna be amazing.
Ring a passport gang.
I know.
Yeah, fellas.
Yeah. I got one in Botswana. Yo, man, Botswana is okay. Anyway,
Best place to be in to do your comedy?
To do comedy.
Yeah, your favorite spot?
For me, it's Cape Town Comedy Club. And it's so weird because we have like this political thing that's going on, and I said something on the interview that was really stupid because I'd lost the competition, so I was very bitter. So I went on another radio station and I said something, but I still say it, regardless if they know or not, or they're listening or not. I still say it's my favorite spot because it's very international, and that's where I want to do comedy in the world, so. It kind of prepares you for that kind of experience because here South Africa, Joburg is very it's very South African. So there it's not.
As in like you can.
It's got that Europe
you
swag.
can have a broader material.
Yes.
When you
here like the material that you can form here, it's very South African and for South Africans.
Yeah, because I was
South
surprised when you said you did Skumba's show because
Yeah.
Skumba is like.
Yo, bro, Skumba is amazing.
Dude.
Like Skumba is a beast, bro. Like the kind of shows that the kind of shows that he does, and the kind of energy that he puts into all of his shows. Like there's nobody currently in the country that has that kind of energy. Like maybe him, Mashabela Salesman, because these are like the mainstream comedy. That's mainstream comedy. Like us. Doing English comedy as black people, that's niche. Like it's for niche crowds, and that's why like our target markets are like university students, like people matriculants, young adults, young professionals, millennials,
the new
and these
ones.
are people that generally don't have money. The people that go to Skumba shows, because people think that like
Give
people,
up,
like these are people that are working, they have money, and people think that like people that go to Vernac shows, and that's a stereotype in the country that they don't have money or Vernac comedy is very stupid. How can you be stupid while you're filling out a 4,500 room full of all those people? You tell them there's not even one like millionaire in there. Like you are the millionaire on stage. Like,
and speaking of like, what you mentioned, like Skumba was a cop.
Yeah.
He recently quit like 2 years ago.
Yeah, man. Like
Skumba was a full-time cop, right?
Yeah, and it takes great discipline to do all that stuff. I think.
Yeah. No,
Whatever.
It's over. It's
Whatever.
over. It's been real.
I saw that.
Are you going to the Peter Dirk Ace grilling of a lifetime?
No.
No.
Negative. It sounds. It doesn't sound. It does.
Oh God! I feel so bad for answering that quickly. Okay. Yes, I am going.
You're
When is
better.
it? When is it?
It's on the 28th of September.
Oh,
After your boom boom.
after the Boom Boom
it's
show is in October.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if I will go.
Hey, homie
Okay.
showed us.
Yeah,
he
no.
showed us. He won't be here. We're going to be overseas.
Okay.
Me
I
and
remind
No,
you.
I'm leaving next month. I'm leaving the day after the Boom Boom show.
Dude, me, I have a passport. I have a green card. Me, I can go anywhere in the world. But
Let's go,
we're
man.
Going.
Let's go.
You know
go to
what? We need to take like 10 ad breaks and everything because like we didn't do any of
didn't
that.
pay for
we
anything.
didn't pay no
Bye.
bills. We didn't
Bye-bye.
do nothing. So that's
Yeah.
all we have for you
We
in today's
missed you
show.
so much.
Do interact with us on @Carve_radio on Instagram and on Twitter. Let us know what you think. We're giving away 2 double tickets to Titi's show that's coming out on the 27th of October at the Joburg Theatre, right?
At the Joburg Theatre.
At the Joburg
Tickets
Theatre.
at Pick and Pay.
Tickets at Pick and Pay.
100
All you
rand
have to do
tickets, 100
is
rand.
tell us what's his full name. So yeah, good luck with that.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Titi.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za